us that Shojo men do not move like Shonen men at all. And I'm not talking about fighting, I'm talking about love. A man is a man, right? So why do they feel so different? I've been thinking about this for a minute. Shojo men just feel different. And I don't mean better, I mean different. Shojo writes men around emotion first. Shonen writes men around action first. In Shonen, the guy proves himself by fighting, getting stronger, beating stronger opponents. You know, it goes on and on, but the strength is building. The Shonen men are always in motion, always moving towards something. In Shoujo, a man proves himself in stillness. This man stays, he's patient, he's kind, he's always there. He notices the little stuff. He be paying attention, y'all. He might be awkward or stubborn or even dramatic, but he's all the way locked in. The woman lead drops her stuff. He's right there picking it up. She's getting accosted in a back alley. He jumps in before she can actually get hurt. I know who y'all are probably expecting me to use as an example, but today I'm actually gonna use somebody different for a change. Let's take Kai from Honey Lemon Soda. Now you can find out all about this show in a previous video I did if you aren't aware of what it is or if you haven't seen it yet. So we're gonna actually look at how he is so different from somebody like, let's say, Kirito from Sword Art Online. And it might not be what you're thinking. Kai has a bad boy image, but he's actually really sweet. He dotes on Yuka very early on and becomes her calm through the storm and a pillar she can always lean on. He's kind and he always manages to be there right when she needs him the most. The long looks in her eyes, walking beside her, being gentle with her more so than he is with anybody else. Kai doesn't win Yuka by defeating something. He wins her by noticing her. And that right there is the difference. Now I picked Kirito because despite Sword Art Online being a shonen, it's one of the few who actually does romance very well within the story. And Kirito and Asuna bonded through the game, and eventually that led to a relationship outside in the real world. And yes, he does go through hell and high water to save her, but personality-wise, he's a bit different than Kai. There really isn't much yearning between those two. Their interactions are very much cut and dry, and we don't really get the flavor that we get with Kai. Sure, Kirito protects her, but he's more himself-centered, whereas Kai is more Yuka-centered. Put plainly, Kirito protects Asuna, Kai prioritizes Yuka. So both express their love in different ways, but if we're being honest, which of these two men would you actually want? I mean, seriously. Now my vote is Kai all day, but to some people, Kirito might be your speed, and I can honestly respect that too. One last thing. Shoujo does not make emotional intelligence embarrassing. These men cry, they panic, they get jealous, they overthink, but they also eventually communicate well. I mean, who wouldn't want that in a man? And I think this is where people get things confused. It's not that shoujo men are softer, it's that the story really gives them space to be softer because they're not always running towards something or trying to get stronger. And not only that, they actually go after the woman they want. A lot of shonen male leads are super oblivious. Not all, but some. And we ain't got time to be dealing with all that confusion. We do not have time for that. So now obviously the genre here matters, right? Romance versus action, fantasy, whatever. It's not the same lane. But even when romance shows up in shonen, it still feels different. So when you see these men in different types of shows, now you'll understand why that difference occurs. In shonen, vulnerability is usually a stepping stone to getting stronger, but in shoujo, vulnerability is the strength. Be honest with me, y'all. Do you actually prefer Shojo Men, or do you just like the idea of being prioritized? There's nothing wrong with either way, but that's the point that I wanted to make today, that there is a difference when it comes down to how shonen men are and how shoujo men are when it comes to romance. So like I said, you can have romance in any kind of show, but we now see why the same kind of romance, the same kind of dynamics, those people are going to look and move different because the goal is a little bit different, and what's considered strength or what's considered, you know, the journey is gonna vary. I know this was a short watch. I really hope you loved this video, and if you didn't, I am really sorry to hear that. Please let me know how I can get better because I'm always looking for improvements. But otherwise, I want to still thank you for watching, and if you would like to see any of the romance shows that I have analyzed or hear about my thoughts, I have a whole playlist for that, so make sure you go check that out, and don't forget to subscribe. When one arc ends, another one begins. See you next time.